Welcome in today's class. Our topic is Inside Our Art, second chapter of geography. In this chapter, we will learn structure and component of the art. So let me begin with this about the art. The art or homeland is a dynamic planet. It is dynamic because it keep on changing both inside and outside, and we can see the changes that over the art surface, and we cannot see the changes that occur inside the art surface, but we can have a clear knowledge about the interior structure and component of the art with the help of various evidences provided by natural phenomena like earthquakes, volcanoes, etc. So here we have the interior structure of the art, or we can say interior of the art. Let me begin this with a comparison of an onion. Similarly, an onion has several concentric layers. Art also has several concentric layers. So just like an onion, the art is made up of several concentric layers with one inside another. And let's have a look on this picture. This one is showing the three different layers of the art: the crush, mantle, and the core. Crush is the outermost one, and just beneath crush we have mantle, and the innermost one is core. And let's start first with crush. What is crush? Crush is the uppermost layer of the art, and it is thinnest among all three layers of the art. And it has some basic characteristic like it contains mountain, plateaus, and various physical features. It has two types, the continental crush and oceanic crush, and these two we'll discuss in next coming slide. Next, we have some fact to remember. The crush form only 0.5% of the volume of the art, 16% consists of the mantle, and 83% makes the core. And here we have description of the two type of the crush, continental crush and the oceanic crush. So crush is about 35 kilometer on the continental masses and only 5 kilometer on the oceanic floors. And oceanic crush mainly consists of silica and magnesium. That is why it is also known as SEMA. And the main mineral constituents of the continental mass are silica and alumina. It is thus called shale. So here we have the differentiation of the crush, oceanic crush and the continental crush. Next we have the second layer, mantle. And in between these two first layer and the second layer there is a boundary drawn which is known as Moho discontinuity, and after that we have mantle. So mantle is the second layer which found just beneath the crush, and it extends up to a depth of 2,900 kilometer, and it is mainly made up of silicates and iron, and it has two types. And the basic difference between the upper mantle and the lower mantle is upper mantle is liquid in character, and this one is a source of magma, and lower magma is solid in character. Next I have the innermost layer, core. The innermost layer is core with a radius of about 3,500 kilometer, and the main component of this layer are nickel and iron. That's why it is called knife. And the pressure and temperature in the center of the art is very high. Next, here I have some interesting fact. The deepest mine in the world in South Africa is about 4 kilometer deep. In search of oil, engineers have dug a hole about 6 kilometer deep. Beyond that, we cannot enter towards the center. As I said, temperature and pressure both increases if we go further towards the center. So here we find that evidence that temperature and pressure increases both increases with the increase of depth. So to reach the center of the art is impossible. So now we move on to rocks and minerals. Art crust is made up of various types of rocks. So what is this rock? any natural mass of mineral matter that makes up the earth crust is called a rock. And rock can be of different color, size, and texture. And on the basis of this difference of color, texture, and size, rocks are divided into three types. Here we have the three types of rocks: igneous rocks, sedimentary rocks, and metamorphic rock. And we have to know about the origin of this word. Igneous is a Latin word. It's come from a Latin word ignis, meaning fire. Sedimentary word is come from a Latin word sedimentum, meaning settle down. And metamorphic word is come from a Greek word metamorphose, meaning change of form. And we have brief description of igneous rocks. Igneous, as I said, come from a Latin word ignis, meaning fire. So how this rock is formed? When the molten magma cools, it becomes solid, and rock does form are called igneous rocks. And they are also known as primary rocks. And we have two types of igneous rock: intrusive rock and extrusive rock. Intrusive rocks are those rocks which find inside the earth's surface, and extrusive rocks are those rocks which are formed outside the earth's surface. And we have a description of this extrusive igneous rock. Actually, it is formed by lava, which release from the first layer of the mantle, and after coming out from the interior of the earth, this molten lava comes on the surface and it rapidly cools down and becomes solid. The rock formed in such a way on the surface of the earth are called exclusive igneous rock, and they have a very fine grained structure. And we have the example basalt. So Deccan Plateau of India is made up of basalt rock. Next we have intrusive igneous rock. Sometimes the molten magma cools down deep inside the crush. Solid rock so formed are called intrusive igneous rock. Since they cool down slowly, they form large grains, and granite is the example of such rock. Next we have comparison of extrusive and igneous rock. Extrusive igneous rock and intrusive igneous rock. So extrusive igneous rock cools quickly, and as a result these rocks are fine grained or has a lack of crystal growth. And intrusive igneous rocks are formed from magma that cools slowly, and as a result these rocks are coarse grained. And next we have the second rock, sedimentary rock. To know sedimentary rock, we have to know first what is sediments. When rocks roll down, cracks, and hit each other, are broken down into small fragments. These smaller particles of rocks are what we know as sediments. These sediments are transported and deposited by various atmospheric agents, wind, water, glacier, etc. And these loose sediments are compressed and hardened to form layers of rock. This type of rocks are called sedimentary rocks. An example is sandstone. Sandstone is made up of grains of sands, and this rock may also contain fossils of plants, animals, and other microorganisms that once live on them. And here we have important fact. Igneous and sedimentary rocks can be changed into metamorphic rock. Under which condition? Under great heat and pressure is given to these two rocks. Then they change in their structure and component, and new one is formed. That is what we know as metamorphic rock. So clay changes into slate and limestone into marble. Now we come to the uses of rock. We use these rocks in different purposes. So it's very important to us. The word rock are used, the hard rocks are used for making roads, houses, and buildings. And stones are also used in games, for example, 7 stones, hopscotch, 5 stones like this. And rocks are used in making monument also, for example, Red Fort, Taj Mahal. Next, we come to rock cycle. Here we have the definition. This process of transformation of the rocks from one to another under certain condition in a cyclic manner is what we know as the rock cycle. So, the process of rock cycle, let's see how rock turn from one to another rock. Let's see. When the molten magma cools, it solidified to become igneous rock. And these igneous rocks are broken down into small particles that are transported and deposited from sedimentary rocks. And then, when these igneous and sedimentary rocks are subjected to heat and pressure, that means heat and pressure is given to these two rocks, change into metamorphic rock. So, again, these metamorphic rocks turn into magma. So this is the process of rock cycle. And the metamorphic rock, which are still under great heat and pressure, melt down to form molten magma. And this molten magma again can cool down and solidify into igneous rock. So this is the cycle of rocks. So do you know this? Rocks are made up of different minerals. Minerals are naturally occurring substances which have certain physical properties and definite chemical compositions. So, minerals are very, very important to us. Some are used as fuels, for example, coal, natural gas, petroleum. These are what we are using in our day to day life. We can't even imagine our life without these minerals. So they are also used in industries, iron, aluminium, gold, uranium, etc. And even in making medicine, in fertilizer, we are using minerals. So in different purposes, we are using minerals. So it's very important to us. So with this, I have come to the end of this chapter and I hope you enjoy watching it. Thank you.